I was a kid that grew up in poverty. We had the electricity shut off quite a bit. There were a lot of cold nights in Christmas and things like that. It was me and my mother. We were living in a small town in Kansas, in north central Kansas.
I grew up in poverty. I've done well. I think that there's an opportunity for others to be successful.
After retirement, I started working at some food banks and some clothes closets in the Wichita area. I just saw person after person having horrible situations, and I felt like I was helping in a sense, but I felt like I was putting a Band-Aid on something that was about to explode.
It was rough, being a kid, not just the idea of not being able to pay bills, but, going through school like that was so hard. And actually, when I graduated high school, my college debate coach, he was the one that helped me find a scholarship to go to college. And when I graduated on graduation day, I just went up to him and I said, "Thank you so very much for providing me with the opportunities that you had." And he just looked at me and he goes, "Eric, all I ever wanted to do is just provide opportunities and possibilities for kids." I've kind of taken that to heart. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I knew right then and there that's what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to provide opportunities and possibilities for people so that way they could achieve the greatness that every person is capable and deserves to have.
I was in Afghanistan as a contractor for 3 years. When I came back from overseas, I wrote a book on finances and my experience with money and how I managed to move from poverty to being successful.
I'm going to say 3 God moments happened in my life where things happened both out of church and in church, where things just happened to sort of tell me, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is where your heart is. You're supposed to be working on an anti-poverty initiative that will bring relationships to people in poverty and help them.
When I was in poverty, that was been 40, 50 years ago. Now, poverty is much different than what it was when I was a kid. So learning the new ideas and the new things makes a huge difference. I knew a lot about financial things and I wanted to help with the finance side of it. I've learned that financial is just a very small part. Community, it's relationships, it's reducing stress and making order of your life.
Relationships. I think people in poverty value them more than anything else. And so if we base our programs on getting out of poverty primarily on money, then we're not addressing the needs of those people in poverty. If their desire and their resources are in relationships, then we need to utilize that relationship-based approach to help them understand and see what's out there.
Especially here in Kansas, there's such a negative stigma for individuals in poverty. It's so difficult to overcome.
I don't think that those of us in middle class understand what living in poverty looks like, what it feels like, the kind of stresses that it has, the tyranny of the moment that invades those people in poverty's every single waking hour, waking day, waking minute. People in middle class have tyrannies of the moment, but they're usually fairly short-lived. Bankruptcy, maybe an unexpected death, and so for a while you are focused on something in particular that you can't deal with anything else in your world. But it happens for a short time and then it's gone. People in poverty are living day to day, everything is just a crisis. And I think people in middle class need to understand that. People in poverty need to understand that there's possibly another way to live besides that way. They can have a better future story.
We can all do it together. We can obtain lifestyles that are humane. We don't have to listen to the stigma, and we can get past it, and we will get past it, one way or another. and that's why we do the work that's the reason I do the work that I do.